Most intermediate guitarists know the same chord shapes that all the professional players are using, but when they use them to try and solo, it sounds kind of robotic, noodly, and disconnected. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take those same chord shapes and turn them into a solo that sounds like it's telling a story with a clear beginning, middle, and end. When we think about playing solos this way, every phrase and every note you play is going to sound so much more intentional. Now, I've taught hundreds of lessons to intermediate guitarists, helping them go from just playing songs to actually sounding musical. That means this isn't going to be another learn all these shapes or practice your arpeggios lesson. That's not what you really need. What you need is applicable ways to use the basic ideas that fit into what you already know. Let me give you a little example here. Pick your guitar up and play a C chord. Little open C chord action. Just play it. We're going to start there and we're going to build chords using what's just in our C chord. So if we play our C chord, we can pick out the notes, right? We have C, E, G, and then C, E again. But that's not really what we're going for here, because if we asked, how do you build a chord, and you said notes, you'd be right, but then how do we actually build a major chord? Well, those notes are going to move. So when we're building a major chord, we want to ask how far apart are the notes from each other? And that's going to be the intervals that actually build our chord. So when we have this C chord here, the intervals would be our 1, 3, and 5. But the thing is that doesn't really feel like it means anything, right? So we need to connect that to a different idea that we already know, which is a major scale. If you take your C major scale and count up with the notes, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Those numbers are your intervals. So we take our 1, we take our 3, we take our 5, and those are the notes inside of our C chord, right? And then it just repeats over. And these three notes that build up the basic major chord, minor chord are what we call a triad. Now this chord isn't a triad. Why? Because we're repeating the notes. A true triad only has those three notes. So how could we find a C triad? Well, we could just take that chord and just play three notes of the chord, any three. This is a C triad, these top three. This is a C triad, this is a C triad. So a triad is just a three-note chord, and you'll find that the triads are inside of most, if not all, of the chords that you already know. And that's cool and all, but how do we actually use our triads, right? Like, we don't want to just learn things just to learn them. We want to learn how we can actually use these concepts. Well, I'll tell you two ways that I really like to use them. I like to use them rhythmically. Say I'm playing in a band, and somebody's playing this open C chord down here. They're drilling on it, right? Well, if I'm playing lead guitar, right, it's not my time to solo, I'm just trying to jam in with the band. I have to find a way that I can also play a C chord, but not just be copying the other player, right? So if he's going down here, I can't just, I could just come play the same chords, it's kind of boring. I could play like that, but that's kind of the same chords. What I would often do is find a triad of that C a little higher up, and jam on that so that I'm playing the same notes, but I'm playing them in a different register and we can harmonize together. The second way I like to use triads is in my lead playing. I like to target the notes of the triads as I'm moving around the chords. So say I'm playing over a track and we're on a C chord. I'm going to go straight to where are my C triads that I can highlight while I play over this, just like this. By the way, if this lesson resonates with you and you want to play over chord changes all over the neck, you should join the other 86 of us in my free community, all learning, growing, and having a blast accelerating our guitar journeys together. Because not only is it a great place to be, but I'm going to be giving away something absolutely crazy in there when I hit 1,000 subs. That's all I can tell you for now, besides that the link is down below and you do not want to miss it. Step 3 is to control yourself. There's all these triads everywhere all around the neck, and you need to find a way to control the use of them to use them functionally in your playing. One way I like to do this is to find chord shapes that are nearby to each other, because when you have all of the chords in a progression right next to each other, they become infinitely easier to use while you're playing. I have this loop set up that goes F, to C, and then G to A minor. Pretty basic chords, right? But we need to find where we can play those chords higher up on the neck and close together. I think a good spot to do this on would be on the top 3 strings. We got our F first. If we want to find that, we can ask ourselves, well, where is another F on the guitar? We have another F here on the 8th fret of the A string. And if we were to build that into a full-shaped chord, it would actually be that same shape as that C we were talking about earlier, just up on F using our pointer finger on a bar. So on the top 3 strings, we would have 5, 6, 5. So that's our F. Okay, we got that discovered. Then we're going to C. Well, I know that there's this C chord, kind of like the A shape right here. And if we just take the top 3 notes on that, boom, C triad. So we have our first 2 chords. And then we got G. Well, if we take this G bar chord shape, same as before, just take the top 3 notes off. That's our G triad. Okay, so we have F, C, we have G. What's left? We need our A minor. Well, if we take our A minor bar chord, just like all of these, and then do the top 3 strings, boom, we got A minor. So we have F, C, G, A minor, all in the top 3 strings. And we can throw them right over the loop, just like this. And now if we want to take those same triad shapes and target them while we're soloing, we have to first figure out, well, what key are we in? Well, we got F, C, and G. That already pretty much gives it away to me that we're in the key of C, because our F and our G are 2 major chords right next to each other, which is usually the 4 and the 5, which would make C our 1. So we know we're in the key of C, maybe even using a little A minor pentatonic action on this, right? We have our first chord right here, then a chord here, then a chord here, then a chord here. Where basically all of the chords are within the top 3 strings and these 4 frets, right? So it's about how can we target just those notes, move around in our scale a little bit, have a little fun, and make something musical in just one spot, just like this. And when it comes to soloing, you're not limited to playing in only one spot, but when you get the idea down of how to play in one spot and then you can move it anywhere is when it becomes much easier to really play anything anywhere. But how can we actually apply all of this into our playing? Well, here's a simple 3-step practice routine. Step 1, spend 5 minutes drilling your triads. Step 2, spend 5 minutes finding triads over a backing track, just like we were doing before with finding the chords close to each other over a track. And then step 3, spending 5 minutes or more targeting those triads over the backing track. Just really having a good time playing over the track, targeting those triads, just thinking a little more actively about it instead of just waffling the pentatonic scale going, man, that shit sounds sick. And if you're an intermediate guitarist that's tired of getting lost when you step out of the small section of the fretboard that you know, click right here to see how I help players by building them a playing that's custom fit to their goals.